Today on Monkey Life, young Chimp Ben moves across the park to join the Bachelors.
Hey, good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah.
But will old friend Seamus remember him?
He's a good boy. Yeah, there's a lot of cuddling and kissing going on down here.
And the Capuchin girls are on a high. This is Monkey World in Dorset. Tucked away deep in the English countryside, it's the largest sanctuary for monkeys and apes on the planet. And this is Dr. Alison Cronin, the primate's best friend. Alison and her team spend their lives rescuing...
We get on well.
and rehabilitating primates from all over the world.
Go on, sort him out. He's your baby, not mine.
They currently look after more than 240 monkeys and apes from 15 different species. Rescuing chimps and other primates is only part of the story for Alison, animal director Jeremy, and the team. The monkeys and apes need to be socialised into groups and to learn the complicated political rules followed by primates in the wild.
Family groups take generations to evolve. So to just make them with random individuals that you've rescued in one generation it's not impossible, but you're going to get people who are just not going to fit in. And even when you've got that, if you just think of any family that you know, there's grief, there's problems, there's civil war. Some are better than others, but one thing that they've got is there's always some issues going on.
The care staff can only provide a certain level of help. The rest has to be learned from their own species. But 6-year-old Ben has never known life in the wild. He was born at the park, rejected by his mother, and only recently graduated from the sanctuary's nursery. Since then, Alison and Jeremy have been exploring options for a new home for the youngster.
Because of what we do here, we have 4 different groups of chimpanzees. So if you don't fit into one group, we will find you a home in another group. So actually, the whole process with Ben is exactly what we do at Monkey World.
But the first attempt to find Ben a settled place with adult chimps didn't work out. After a series of introductions to the group led by Hananya, it was obvious Ben was never going to be accepted by the alpha male. Hananya was suspicious of the newcomer, and terrified Ben wasn't experienced enough to know how to handle the situation. Jeremy helped bring Ben up with chimp foster mum Sally. Now he and the team must decide Ben's future.
I think, yeah, we pushed it as far as it's reasonable to push it, I think. And, you know, and then it didn't work, so we move on. Ben now is going to go and live with the Bachelors. He's got a couple of friends down there already with Seamus and Turkish Çarli, and he'll be sure he'll have a better life down there.
To help Ben settle for the coming move, Jeremy decides to spend some quality time with him.
At the moment, any time you alter his routine, he's convinced that Hananya is going to be the next part of the procedures. So on their normal morning release operation, I've started just saying hello to Ben. This is good. This is all good. To make him realise that, you know, nothing bad's going to happen. You know, we can do something different without there being big, horrible Hananya as a result. He wants as many friends as he can get, and, you know, I can be one of them. And that might, as I say, might make the whole transition from here to the pavilions more comfortable.
Ben's going to need friends, as all introductions to new groups can be tricky. Today, he's moving across the park to see if he can find a home with the noisy, gregarious, and all-male bachelor group, led by alpha male Butch. If he can't, then Alison could start running out of options.
we had thought that a nice option for Ben would be to grow up in a mixed group. However, I could really make the argument that life in a mixed group with all of the ladies and the politics that come along with that isn't easy either. So really, you know, nobody should hate Hananya over this. Hananya's doing what comes natural to him in his own little immature mental way. And, you know, it's just a case of Ben isn't destined to be in this group. But really, I expect Ben's transition into the bachelor group to be much easier than Hananya, who just shouted goodbye. So I think that's it. And that's Ben and Hananya saying their goodbyes, and I think we should get on with it now. So.
To move Ben to the bachelors, the team need to persuade him to get into a travelling crate. The alternative is to give him an anaesthetic, something they're always reluctant to do.
Here you go, Betty boy.
It's a good boy.
What you doing?
That's a very good boy. Just give him a few minutes to
just
sit and hang out. Okay.
No mad rush. No mad rush.
Good boy.
Hello.
What's this? And we'll give you a shout once he's ready. Yeah, there you go.
Here you go.
Well done.
Ben's been given a light sedative, so he's calm but still curious.
That's quite good.
And with Jeremy at the wheel and Keeper Kate along for the ride to look after him, he heads off to his new home. The majority of the primates rescued by Monkey World wouldn't survive in the wild because they were stolen from their mothers at a very young age. The park not only gives them a safe environment, but encourages the animals to live in the same social groups and structures they would in their native homes. Some adapt relatively easily, but for others, the process can take a little longer.
So when we originally rescued the Chilean capuchins, we formed 3 groups, 2 females and 1 male. Over the course of about a year, through watching them progress within their social groups, we could see that there were a considerable number of animals that weren't socially ready for such large groups, and they were having quite a hard time in the hierarchy system. We were unsure whether it was due to their low-ranking positions, whether they were too nervous to move around because of all the other animals, or was it because of their actual mental block due to the time they spent in the lab crates.
10 of the more challenged capuchins, some with physical problems, were moved into a separate group where the primate care staff could give them extra attention. It wasn't long before a clear pattern started to emerge.
With all the keepers spending an awful lot of time observing these capuchin monkeys, we realised that many of them are actual mesh habituated, so they actually only climb on mesh. This is due to the time that they spent in the labs. The crates are a mesh floor to ceiling, so all they did was circle on mesh. So we're actually hoping to use this need for mesh to actually help them start climbing. So we started putting in mesh ramps to see if we could actually get these girls off the ground and start climbing. And a couple of weeks ago, we came up with an idea of actually building a portable mesh climbing system so we could put treats on top, which will help these animals climb up. So Dave, one of the keepers here, spent a few days making it. Very nice job as well too. And today we put it in the enclosure.
The team are using everything from nuts to rice pudding to tempt the ground dwellers to climb.
Do you think if we put some down the ramp as well, that might...
Yeah. It looks bad, but they seem to really enjoy it. So.
Yeah, they like it, so that's the main thing. Hopefully it will encourage them to climb.
And they've already got Lilia's attention. Wild capuchin monkeys climb high to avoid predators. But for one of the capuchin groups at the park, life is more down to earth. To encourage them to leave the ground, the team have built a portable mesh ramp and covered it with tempting, tasty treats. Jill is the first to investigate, and Cara Hannah is delighted.
That's your first badge to becoming a monkey. Bronze medal. Babs, that's cheating. Oh, you cheat! And to put the food in the middle, won't we?
Jenny has a tentative attempt halfway up the ramp.
Oh, Cecilia's up. Oh, look. That's new. This is new. Cecilia's never gone this high before. This is exactly what we were hoping for, see? That's the highest I've ever seen Cecilia climb. Brilliant. When she gets all the way up there, there's another ramp that she could have a go on. So she could potentially make it to the second platform now, have some more tea, and then she's on her way. We've had about 7 to 8 girls that all they do is pace on the floor. So we were hoping that this structure would do exactly what it's doing for Cecilia, just open her mind to another level, basically. It seems once it clicks in their head, that's it then, they're climbing. There she is. Oh my God.
Good when it works, isn't it?
The structure is easy to move, so Hannah tries it outside, in the hope it will encourage the rest of the group to follow in Cecilia's footsteps.
Our main goal is to get them back into social groups and to get them back performing natural behaviours. And obviously for a monkey, that involves climbing. So we want to start getting these girls off the floor, climbing on all the structures, albeit with mesh. And then later on, we're hoping to develop their mesh climbing skills onto maybe some wooden structures. So one day we really hope that these animals will make the most of all our climbing structures and we'll be able to climb over the ropes and the hoses and the cargo nets and all the wooden frames we have here.
She might not have to wait too long. While the capuchins scale new heights, young Chimp Ben is on his way across the park to join a new group. He didn't fit in with a mixed family, so he's about to join the all-male troupe known as the Bachelors. In the wild, it's not unnatural for male chimps to band together to protect their territory. And the females sometimes separate off when food is scarce. The park's bachelors don't have females or territory to compete for. So they can relax and stick to what they know best, having fun. But even without the ladies to fight over, newcomer Ben will have to learn how this all-male group operates. Like all chimp groups, the dominant male often makes close alliances with 2 or 3 others who will back him up. Butch is the leader of the Bachelors. He's known for brawn, not brain, and his top henchmen are Buxom and his half-brother Jester. These 2 bruisers wouldn't look out of place in any gangster movie. Ben will need to grasp the politics quickly if he's going to fit in. The Bachelors are generally quite a gregarious lot. Like all male chimps, they show bonds by grooming and rough-and-tumble play. But Ben will still need some allies of his own in the first few weeks while he finds his feet. Luckily, a couple of his old friends from nursery days are in the bachelor group. The first is Seamus, who always enjoyed a bit of rough and tumble. According to Keeper Hannah, he hasn't changed a bit.
Sometimes he doesn't know whether he wants to be the tough guy or next minute he turns around and wants to be the baby again. So he's in that mixed up teenager stage at the moment, we'll say, but yeah, he's still quite a lovable little chap most of the time. Ben will definitely remember Seamus. I'm sure Seamus will remember Ben, so hopefully, yeah, there'll be two buddies back together again and hopefully spend lots of time playing and looking after each other.
And there's another potential pal Ben can count on, 16-year-old Charlie, who was rescued from Turkey, where he was used in the entertainment industry.
Charlie is a low ranker in the bachelor group, but he's quite a happy-go-lucky kind of chap. He was in the nursery group with Ben. They were quite good buddies whilst they were over there, so hopefully he'll remember Ben. It'll help Ben to settle in, having someone that he knows in the group, because obviously the big guys are all a bit older and not as playful as the younger boys. So it'd be nice for Charlie as well to have Ben as a new playmate.
Chimps do remember previous friendships, and with two such playful allies waiting for him, it looks like Ben could have a lot of fun with the bachelors.
Having Seamus and Charlie with him, it hopefully will give him a lot more confidence in meeting the big guys, and he won't think that they're all Hananyas.
Should we shift this monkey?
Ben's arrived, and the team prepare to move him into one of the bedrooms at the pavilions. Within seconds, the bachelor group knows something's up. And for Ben, who struggled to find a home, it's a much happier arrival this time. His old nursery playmate, Turkish Çarli, jumps up and down in delighted and instant recognition. Ben calls back, and Seamus, the former nursery pal who he grew up with, reaches out in friendship. It's too risky to let Ben straight into the outdoor enclosure with the whole bachelor group, so the staff have prepared one of the indoor bedrooms for him.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah. I don't know. Are you ready? All safe? Here we go. Okay. That sounded hopeful. Did you get in there all right? Is this okay? I know, I love you lots. Now the fun starts.
Yeah.
He's obviously nervous. Why wouldn't he be? But he's out of the box. He's in his bedroom. Give him a little while to settle down, and then we'll consider the next step. At least he knows two people down here, so Seamus and Charlie ought to be reasonably easy, and then at least get him as people he knows. We did give him a light sedative to make it nicer for him to move, so really I want to make sure that's worn off before we start thinking about introductions or anything. Hello? But now that he's settled down, he might well just crash and... There's no mad rush.
But Ben stays lively and interested, so the team decide to let Seamus join him indoors.
He's a good boy. Hello, Shameless. Who's that? Is that Benny boy? He's a good boy. That's nice. Is that it? Yeah. Hello, Alison. Yeah, there's a lot of cuddling and kissing going on down here. And Ben's giving more than Seamus, although they're both right up for it.
I thought that might be the case. That's fantastic.
It's just so nice that Ben isn't going to have to spend the night on his own, and he's got somebody who he clearly knows. I mean, we've got no doubt that there's recollection there that Seamus is an old mate. I mean, obviously, Ben's got a long way to go, but with this sort of friendship, he's going to help. He's going to help no end. We'll see how it goes, though.
Next time on Monkey Life, Ben comes face to face with the Bachelor's big boys.
Obviously, anything can happen. Well, either I like you or I don't like you, and if I don't like you, I'll jump on you and beat you up, and if I do like you, we'll hang out together.
And
They've been bounced from pillar to post, and we're simply being moved around from A to B in a birdcage.
a new species arrives at the park. Today on Monkey Life, a critically endangered species arrives at the park.
They've been bounced from pillar to post, and we're simply being moved around from A to B in a birdcage.
Chimp Ben meets Bachelor Big Boss Butch.
Obviously, anything can happen. Well, either I like you or I don't like you, and if I don't like you, I'll jump on you and beat you up, and if I do like you, we'll hang out together.
And on me head, son, Dad-to-be Gordon hasn't got the hang of football, but is loving the idea of fatherhood. This is Monkey World in Dorset. Tucked away deep in the English countryside, it's the largest sanctuary for monkeys and apes on the planet. And this is Dr. Alison Cronin, the primate's best friend. Alison and her team spend their lives rescuing...
What about you? Oh, too skinny.
...and rehabilitating primates from all over the world.
That's good.
They currently look after more than 240 monkeys and apes from 15 different species. But that number's about to increase. Alison and the team often rescue pet monkeys from poor conditions, following calls from concerned members of the public. They also work with police and animal welfare groups. And they carry out their own undercover investigations.
This is actually an open-air attachment to the outside of the whole pet shop. Now, it's actually reasonably warm in here right now during the daytime, but at nighttime this will be cold, and there's no heat in here.
Today, 2 new monkeys have arrived at the park, following a combined investigation by police and the RSPCA. They were discovered by officers investigating a man in Kent suspected of puppy farming.
So what are they being fed?
Mealworms.
Yeah.
Kent police gave me a call and said they needed some help urgently, and could we take hold of and care for a pair of cotton-top tamarins.
It was an intriguing prospect for the park. Monkey World has never been asked to look after cotton tops before.
I had actually been speaking to the police officers involved with the case a couple of weeks ago, and Kent police intended on confiscating a pair of tamarins and having us assist them. And then all of a sudden, this week, I got a phone call from the police saying, ooh, something else has come undone, we were raiding puppy farms with RSPCA, and we found a pair of cotton-top Tamarins, and we think they might be the same pair. Can we bring them to you?
He's quite near the door. He's in the back.
Cotton-top Tamarins come from Colombia, but they are now thought to be more in captivity than living wild in their native home. There may be as few as 1,000 of these critically endangered primates still left in the wild. Their numbers have dwindled due to mass deforestation and the illegal pet trade.
Putting a waxworm in the box just to see if he'll go in by himself, but he seems quite worked up.
The cotton-tops have been put in a temporary bedroom, but now Toby and Colin from the primate care team need to catch them for a health check.
There you go.
They seem nervous, and no one is sure how much human contact they've had in the past.
They were kept just in a bird cage, basically, a small parrot cage with a nest box inside. So had no outside enclosure, no access to natural sunlight, and were simply being moved around from A to B in a bird cage.
I think it's quicker just to net him, less stressful.
Lunch on my head,
I think Uncas and Alice, which they've been christened after Last of the Mohicans, doing really well here. But, you know, I'd like to try and find out more about their past and where they've come from.
But as the pair don't come with a full history, a health check could provide some answers.
Perfect. All right, okay.
There, if that slide isn't locked.
Yeah, that's all right. Good.
Vet Mike Nathan is in charge of proceedings. Alice is first.
This is very Heath Robinson.
Mike puts the crate in a plastic bag and fills it with gas, a less intrusive anaesthetic procedure for small primates.
This is giving us an opportunity to examine her, weigh her, do some basic tests, check her microchip, and then it's all done in one go rather than upsetting her each time we need to do anything with her. That's worked nicely.
She's starting to wriggle.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
A careful examination of Alice is very revealing.
Right, she's got no obvious incisors. Her canines are worn, so I would say it's old. It'll be an interesting comparison to see what
So
Uncas
the chap
is
that
like.
was offering her for sale was selling this pair as a 5-year-old breeding pair. So based upon her dentition, you would say that that was
I
alive.
suspect she's older than that. Right, the
It
first
just
thing
goes to
do is
show
get-
the pet trade, it's like the Wild West out there. People are able to make up whatever they want to about these animals.
Cotton-top Tamarins have a life expectancy of up to, say, 15 years, approximately. And this female, I suspect, is 15 or even older. This is a grandma cotton-top.
Right, we'll do the same thing with Uncas.
No.
No, there's no... Yeah, I'm not... Yeah.
While the cotton tops are being examined, keeper Toby gives their temporary home a clean out.
At the moment, we have to clean in and around them, so we're just taking the opportunity while they're not in the enclosure to just give it a very, very quick sweep out, and then we'll put their food and water back in because we had to take it away, obviously to prepare them for being gassed down.
Back at the hospital, Mike is examining Uncas, the male cotton top. His teeth show he could well be 5 years old, but he has another dental issue.
Right, that canine, the lower one here, is definitely snapped off. If it gives him a problem, we can deal with it. I'm quite happy with his condition, and they can go back singing away.
Later, Uncas and Alice the cotton tops are on the move. But what happens when they meet the park's marmosets? The cotton tops and marmosets aren't the only primates in the park having to adapt to a new lifestyle. Young Chimp Ben is halfway through his graduation from the nursery to an adult group. He's joining the Bachelors, and so far, his meetings with middle and lower ranking members have gone well. However, later today, he's going to meet Butch, the Bachelor's alpha male. But at the moment, Butch and the boys have got other things on their minds. They've got visitors in their enclosure. In the wild, chimpanzees have a mainly vegetarian diet, but if the opportunity arises, they will eat meat. Organised groups of chimps have been seen hunting, catching and eating colobus monkeys, as well as small antelope and wild pigs. At the park, the chimps enjoy a varied diet of fruit and vegetables, and there's always enough to go round. So much so that occasionally uninvited guests turn up. The bachelor chimps may look relaxed, but they don't miss much. And they're always curious. Mojo thinks he's got them cornered. But these rabbits have played this game before. Gypsy has a look too. But gives up, leaving a brave bunny free to sneak out in search of leftovers. But if he's not careful, he could end up on the menu. This time, it's alpha male Butch who's interested. Leader of the Bachelors, Butch, likes to know what's happening on his patch. But these two have worked out if you keep a low profile and stick to the long grass, there is such a thing as a free lunch. There are more than 240 primates living in the 65-acre park that makes up Monkey World, and it's important to Alison and the team that they all find a group they can coexist with. The last 18 months have been tough on young Chimp Ben. Having outgrown the nursery, the park's efforts to introduce him to Hananya's family group didn't work out. Over the last few weeks, the team have been attempting to slowly integrate him into the Bachelors. This gradual introduction process is important and carefully planned. It means Ben won't feel insecure and vulnerable with the group's higher rankers. His old nursery pals Seamus and Turkish Çarli were delighted to be reunited. And since then, he's also palled up with Mojo and Sammy. But it's another big day for Ben. He's about to meet Butch, the Bachelor's alpha male.
It's important to get Butch in because he's still the main man. Obviously anything can happen, but either I like you or I don't like you, and if I don't like you, I'll jump on you and beat you up, and if I do like you, we'll hang out together, and that's, or if I'm indifferent, then we won't do nothing. We're all very well aware of what chimpanzees can do, and yes, I mean, it can be terminal.
Butch and some of the Bachelors are in their outdoor enclosure. Ben's let out and is greeted by Mojo. He and Sammy stick by Ben to provide close support. Butch is the second alpha male Ben has met, and as things didn't go too well with Hananya, it's understandable he's a little wary.
Put Mojo in because Mojo will be very protective, and Mojo's a big lad, he's a good ally. You know, if you've got an ally, make it a good ally, and that might protect him.
Butch has noticed the newcomer, but a cautious Ben decides to keep out of his way. Butch sits it out to see how things develop, and eventually Ben plucks up the courage to approach, with Mojo as close support. But once close to the big alpha male, loses his nerve and heads off. Jeremy's satisfied the introduction is going well so far, but to make sure it stays that way, more of the other chimps are let outside.
I'm going to let Jimmy out into it.
The newly released chimps prove a distraction for Butch, who sets off to show everyone just who's boss. This time, Ben's tactics have paid off. He's kept out of the way and kept his allies close.
I think Ben's a very ambitious boy. It'd be very interesting to see what Ben's like in 4 or 5 years. But he's also bright, so he knows what buttons to press or not, and he knows how to get out of it if it goes bad. That's what I'm seeing, and that isn't a guarantee that he's not going to get hurt or anything, but it's going to help him. It's going to reduce the odds.
All the primate species across the park are constantly learning to adapt to new situations. In Gordon's orangutan group, little Kai is finding that life with Mum is changing. He's now 4 years old, and although he doesn't know it, he'll soon have a little half-brother or sister. Mum Xiao Kuai is heavily pregnant. She's happy to still have him around, but is also finding the need for a little me time. Her baby bump is certainly showing, but she still needs to keep active. And, as orangutans can be a bit sedentary, Keeper Penny has come up with a plan to stimulate the whole group.
We're actually going to put some balls in, and we're hoping that Gordon's group will actually see that they're balls, they can be played with and not eat them. Chances are they're probably going to pop them within 5 seconds, but you never know until you try, so quite excited, looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. This is an enrichment that doesn't involve food, so rather than involving food, whether it be nice stuff, savoury stuff, it's something for them to play with, but they're not going to actually put any weight on and hopefully burn a few pounds as well.
But Xiao Kuai is convinced the balls contain a tasty tidbit, and despite her expanding waistline, is determined to find out. Xiaolan takes no time removing the outer layer, peeling it just like an orange. And, after a lacklustre attempt at playing ball, is disappointed to find there's nothing inside. Xiao Kuai's made the same discovery, so isn't too bothered when Gordon decides 2 footballs are more fun, even if they are punctured. Kai agrees they make a great toy. When his baby brother or sister arrives, he's going to need to become a bit more independent. So it's a good thing he's got Dad-to-be Gordon as a role model, even if he's not quite taking the mature approach to fatherhood just yet. Earlier, Alice and Uncas, the Colombian cotton-top tamarins, were passed fit by Mike the vet. But they're a totally new species for the park, which left Alison and the team with a problem: where to house them. Luckily, Alison has a plan.
The best thing to do is to try and mix them with our bachelor group of common marmoset. There's plenty of space, it's just whether or not the common marmosets will accept the cotton tops and vice versa.
There's only one way to find out. The primate care team have crated up Alice and Uncas and are about to release them in the marmoset's bedroom.
Marmosets and tamarins have a similar social setup. They pair bond for life, and then the females give birth to generally twins, and after they've had one set of offspring, those youngsters will help look after any future siblings. The two species wouldn't encounter each other in the wild because cotton tops only come from Colombia and common marmosets only come from Brazil.
Open it.
The team have no idea how the two species will react to each other, so stand by just in case.
Hopefully they're just such vastly different things that assuming the cotton tops don't launch an assault, that it will be just a nothing.
Well, they've got to look pretty intimidating to the marmosets.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that. They sort of worry me a bit just as is. I mean, they just look scary. So I think the female is actually sort of threatening and being violent, either to her own reflection in the glass, which, I mean, just goes to show, I mean, how aggressive the cotton tops can be. Well, I mean, what do you think? I think she's threatening her reflection.
Yeah, it seems to be whenever she's by the window.
We'll have to watch out and make sure that that sort of aggression towards another perceived cotton top doesn't turn into a threat against the common marmosets.
But it's the marmosets who seem keen to take on the Mohican-haired cotton tops.
That's Marcel's tactic: hide under the log and pull someone's tail.
He deserves something for that.
Marcel
Had
again.
a sneaky bite. Yep, at her tail. Yeah, thump him. She's gonna thump you.
He's pretty much the lowest ranking of the four boys, Marcel, so whether he feels he's got something to prove a bit.
But
I'll say no one else is backing him up.
yeah, I mean, I'm not too bothered if it is just, hopefully he'll get bored of it. That was quite nice. She just forcefully pushed along and she didn't do anything, but she definitely pushed him out of the way.
The initial meeting between the two species has gone well, but Alison feels the future is still unpredictable.
Even though these two have come to us as a pair, they've been bounced from pillar to post, and I don't know how many previous owners they've had or what they've even been subjected to. So for us, it's going to be a case of monitoring their behavior closely and seeing just how crazy and how abused they have been.
Next time on Monkey Life. Reluctant lemur Kaya hides from her new family. And orangutan foster mum Ame tries an unusual way of avoiding hers.